Alright, Trickers and Trickers, time for the final episode of Review of the Day with The Host. Odan, a mediator, boards the Enterprise to negotiate a peace treaty between two hostile races. Dr. Beverly Crusher is charmed by the man, and the two share a love affair during the trip. Odan refuses to use the transporter and requests that a shuttle and pilot be provided for him. Commander William Riker honors his request. During the mission, the shuttle is attacked by a dissident faction and Odan is mortally injured. While trying to save the alien sickbay, Dr. Crusher comes to learn that Odan is a Trill, a species which symbiotically lives within its host's body. It is further revealed by Lieutenant Commander Data that the transporter would have harmed the symbiotic life form. Following the death of Odan's body, Commander Riker volunteers to allow Odan to use him as a host to conduct the necessary negotiations until a new host arrives. Odan's presence becomes dominating over Riker, and Dr. Crusher finds herself initially confused when Odan continues to try to engage with her to continue their relationship. Dr. Crusher is puzzled and full of emotion as she later confides to Counselor Deanna Troi and wonders about the true depth of her feelings for Odan. With some effort, Odan and Riker's body manages to convince the delegates from the warring planets to work with him. However, Riker's body begins to deteriorate due to the incompatibility of different biologies. The ship transporting the new host has encountered engine malfunctions. Dr. Crusher does everything she can to extend Riker's and Odan's chances while the Enterprise races to meet the Trill ship, and has a deeply emotional moment with Captain Picard. The Enterprise successfully rendezvous in time to bring aboard the new host, a female, much to Dr. Crusher's surprise. She helps with the other Trill to transplant Odan into the new host, and both Riker and Odan fully recover. Yay! When Odan attempts to continue their relationship, Dr. Crusher is uncomfortable, knowing that both the Trill appear to have no preferences on gender orientation, and that Odan will continue to live on in any number of hosts' bodies. Odan admits he still loves Dr. Crusher, but understands her confusion and discomfort, and promises to never forget her or their short time together. As Dr. Crusher replies that she loves Odan too, but Odan's new female host body, Odan kisses the inner wrist of her hand. Aww, it's kind of sad for Crusher. So anyway, let's get some production notes about this episode. The Host was written by Michael Horvat and directed by Marvin V. Rush. Rush had been the director of photography for the series since the start of the third season, and was the first of 3 members of the series staff to direct an episode. The filming of Casey McFadden's scenes was complicated by the fact that she was 7 months pregnant at the time, requiring different camera angles than would normally be used. Jonathan Frakes, who played Commander Riker, explained later that, quote, they would not address the fact that the actress was pregnant, requiring the cast and crew to hide McFadden's stomach from the camera with furniture or by using camera angles which only showed her from her breasts upwards. Rush was not told which episode he was going to direct beforehand, other than that it was going to be a ship-based episode. He later directed 2 episodes of Star Trek Voyager and 2 of Star Trek Enterprise. Story editor Brandon Braga was pleased with the episode, calling it, quote, one of the most outstanding news stories we've ever done, as it was originally suggested as a quote, squirmy worm story, which was, quote, unique, as it went on to become, quote, the most touching love story. Really? Ronald D. Moore stated that it had become a Star Trek story by focusing the episode on the relationship rather than on the negotiations. Rush suggested that some viewers were disappointed with the ending, due to Crusher not accepting her lover in his new female body. He said that it was a valid point of view, and that McFadden's lines in the final scene made it clear that it put forward hope that homosexuality might be better accepted in the future. The subject matter was revisited in the Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, Rejoined, which featured one of the earliest televised lesbian kisses. Ooh. The character of Odan would return to non-canon Star Trek publications, including in the short story First Steps within the Lives of Dax anthology. It also made 2 appearances in licensed comics, first in DC Comics' Star Trek The Next Generation annual issue 4 and then in Divide We Fall, a crossover between The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, published under the Wildstorm imprint. The makeup for the Trill host featured a separate nose and forehead pieces, as the intention was to retain the general look of a human. Air bladders were placed inside a fake abdomen to create this shot in which a symbiote appeared to move under the host's skin. A second fake abdomen was created for the surgery scene in which the symbiont is moved into Riker, which worked by having a crew member lie under the surgery table, pulling the symbiont into the opening using a concealed string. The design of the symbiont was based on a caterpillar with an octopus for a head, which featured a further air bladder in order to give the appearance that it was pulsating, and painted in fluorescent paint to glow when a black light was shown on it during that scene. The drill later recurred in Deep Space Nine, with multiple hosts of the Dax symbiont appearing on screen. The same makeup initially was used in their original appearance in The Next Generation. However, after 2 days of filming with Terry Farrell in the prosthetics, she was sent back to the makeup department to change it. The shuttle set was the same one which had been used previously, the parts created for different episodes since work began in the first season episode Coming of Age. And the host, it was named Hawking for the theoretical physicist Professor Stephen Hawking. He later guest starred in the first part of the episode Descent at his request. Nice. So far, this is a pretty good episode, and it's a nice introduction to the drill that we will later see in Deep Space Nine, but just looking a little bit different. So overall, I give the host 4 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me tomorrow as Star Trek Timber continues on with The Mind's Eye. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.